Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. Imagine you and your neighbor, and that there is a giant tree in your garden and also one in the garden of your neighbor. You both decide to get rid of your trees, because they got too tall and they start to block the sunlight, and also there is too much work with all the leaves falling down in fall. You both decide to saw down your tree on Sunday, but you secretly decide to begin early in the morning, because then you will be done by the time your neighbor is getting up. And also you want to feel a little superior. You imagine yourself relaxing in the sun and watching your neighbor sawing down his tree. On Sunday you get up early and get your old saw out of the basement and start at 9 AM. After 3 hours of sawing you got 1/3 of the work done. And your neighbor gets out and says, "Oh, why did you start so early?" And you reply, "You know, I woke up early and I'm a productive person." So then your neighbor gets his saw and sits down to sharpen the saw. Then he starts sawing, and within an hour his tree is sawed and falls. And then he sits down and sharpens his saw again for the next time and gets a cold drink after the hard work. After his drink, he walks over to you while you are still sawing. He asks, "Why don't you take a few minutes to sharpen your saw? Then you will be much faster." And your best reply is, "Sorry, I can't do this because I'm too busy sawing down the tree. And I think that my tree is much thicker than yours, otherwise I would also be done already." I really like this little story. It shows what we all do in some areas. We don't take the time to regenerate ourselves. And in this case, regenerate the saw, so to speak. When it comes to things, it seems pretty normal that we need some extra time for their maintenance. We never run out of gas because we are too busy refilling the tank. But we often forget to sharpen our saw and regenerate when it comes to our mind and our body. There are 4 areas we have to maintain regularly: our physical self, our mental self, our spiritual self, and our social emotional self. Great tools I use for regeneration and sharpening the saw are stretching and working out for my body. I read, learn and meditate constantly for regenerating my mind. I visualize my goals and roles in life at least once a month for my spiritual self. And meet and laugh with friends and family in person, not via Facebook or Twitter, for my social emotional self. Far too many people are too busy with everything else and have so many excuses to not regenerate, like the guy who is still sawing down his tree. So make use of the last habit, habit 7, and sharpen your saw.